Welcome to week 3 of this 8-week Stay With Yourself course for creating a soulful and lifelong meditation practice. Week 3, we are focusing this week on ritual and mantra. So to me, rituals, you might call them habits, you might call them routines, you might call them structure, and mantra, you just might call it self-talk. So I love the words ritual and mantra. I think it brings a little more soulfulness, a little bit more of like a spiritual aspect to it. But if you're not into it, again, call it habits, routines, self-talk, whatever best suits you, because this is your practice, right? So first to start, I hope that you found last week's just clearing of internal space and the continuation of posture and breath to be really supportive for you. If there's things that were coming up for you that you noticed, that you've been journaling about, taking notes on, just in your observations, just breathing into that and really kind of patting yourself on the back in a way for continuing to show up to these daily meditations and these daily practices. And if you feel like you've fallen behind, you're not keeping up on it, again, remembering that you can't do it wrong. That means you can't do it right, and you can't fall behind. And it doesn't make sense to try to skip ahead. To be honest, you're not going to get the most out of this course if you're just skipping ahead and doing one lesson a day. Not that you can't do that, again, because it's your practice. But really taking your time and going to these deep places is foundational to creating a lifelong meditation practice and the lifelong practice of learning to stay with yourself. So let's get into it. Ritual and mantra. So again, looking at my notes, I just wrote, the first note I wrote for this week is ritual and mantras are cues to the brain and body. So similar to what we talked about in week 1 with posture and breath, we're reconditioning ourselves. We are creating all kinds of signals and symbols for our brain and our body to attach to, right? So what we put in front of ourselves, again, that's why I created these screensavers for you to download every week, right? What we put in front of ourselves, what we put in front of our eyes, what we put in front of, like, into our ears, what we feed ourselves on a sensory level, and then the habits and the actions that we take every day, the things that we do every single day, these are cues to our brain and body, right? For either wellness and peace or illness and disharmony. So if you've been feeling some of that illness, that dis-ease, right? And a lack of harmony or disharmony in your life, this week is a chance for us to actually start actively choosing some new cues for our brain and our body to bring ourselves into more peaceful and harmonious states of being, of thinking, of feeling, of living, right? So, let's see, how exactly do we want to approach this? Let's start by talking about rituals. We all have rituals. We all have things that we do every day, right? We all probably eat every day. A lot of us have coffee every morning. Some of your rituals might be getting on your phone and scrolling social media first thing in the morning or at night before going to bed. It might be something else like reading at night before bed, or maybe you have a ritual of going into work and, you and your work buddy have, Margarita Wednesdays, or there's all kinds of rituals and habits and routines and things that we do that we like, that make us feel good, that kind of are supportive to the sense of aliveness that we have. And then there's some things that we do that aren't supportive, right? There's all kinds of things where we're like, oh, I should work out more. Oh, I should eat better. Oh, I should, la, 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 all the shoulds, all the shoulding on ourselves that we do. So sometimes the lack of a habit can be a habit. It can just be the habit of shoulding on ourselves. The shoulding of expecting things of ourselves that, end up just kind of making us feel bad. And that kind of starts to move into what I'm talking about around self-talk, around mantras, right? So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down in terms of rituals and mantras. But let's bring it back to our meditation practice. So again, we're reconditioning ourselves. We're sending ourselves, our brains and our bodies, cues on how to be and how we want to live and how we want to feel. So if there's certain things that make you feel good, doing more of that. And if there's things that make you feel bad, doing less of that. And same thing with self-talk, right? There's ways that we talk to ourselves that really don't feel good. And there's ways that we talk to ourselves that feel a lot better. So this week, we're really focusing on the things that feel supportive to us and that help us feel good, that help us tap us into more pleasure. So I like to call this pleasure stacking. When we can stack pleasures together, or we can infuse something pleasurable into something that's less pleasurable. For me, I really like to watch like a TV show or a movie or something while I'm folding laundry. It just kind of helps me fold laundry and feel motivated to do the laundry. If I'm thinking, oh, I need to fold laundry, it's hard to want to fold laundry for me. But if I'm like, ooh, but maybe I could pop some popcorn and I can throw on a movie, now I can fold laundry. I could fold laundry with a popcorn in a movie, right? And then I still have the added benefit of I'll be done folding laundry far before the movie's over and probably before the popcorn is gone too, right? So I would call that like pleasure stacking some pleasures together, and then you can infuse something that's not as pleasurable to you, right? So when it comes to your meditation practice, it might be that you have this nice little cozy space that you've created for yourself, kind of like my little space that I love so much here, where you light candles or incense or smudge and you play soft music, where you wear your favorite comfy robe or sweatpants, where you have your favorite blanket or cushion. You do it at a time of day when you really love how the sunlight is coming through the window, or that's the spot where you can see the garden outside or hear the wind chimes in that space, right? So this is part of pleasure stacking, even when it comes to meditation. It helps us get to our meditation practice, and it helps us look forward to our meditation practice. And again, that's why I'm encouraging you to have a place that you go to every day to do your meditation, that you're not moving it around too much. Not that you can't, right? But just for this establishment period, this time of establishing, right? And that you have your little rituals that you add to it. Maybe you also, brew yourself a cup of coffee or some tea, and you bring that into your meditation practice as well. And then maybe after your meditation practice, that's when you really like to do a little yoga or Pilates, or take your shower and then, make yourself some breakfast. And just, again, starting to have these routines and these things that you look forward to, right? Like in the shower, you really like turning on your diffuser so your whole bathroom fills with like a really lovely scent, right? Or you buy yourself a good lotion or face cream that you really enjoy using. These are pleasurable things that help mundane tasks in life feel better, right? And so we also get to do that with mantra. Noticing, I'm sure you've noticed as we've been sitting in meditation the last couple of weeks with, last week clearing internal space, or even when we're sitting with posture and breath, the thoughts that come up and the ways that you judge yourself, the ways that you judge your meditation practice, the way that you're judging other people, the way that you're judging your life, the way that, you're making this good and that bad, and you're resisting this and you're clinging to that, and the thoughts that are associated with that. Or even the scrolling social media, the judging yourself for scrolling to begin with, and then all the judgments that are coming up for you as you're scrolling, and so on and so forth. So our practice this week is I want you to start pleasure stacking with your meditation practice. What would make your meditation practice even more pleasurable? So you're sitting down, you're listening to your guided meditation every day, right? And what would make it even better? And start thinking about some of the things in your life that you dread or you don't enjoy. What would make it better? And things that are healthy for you, right? And last week we talked about clearing internal space. So some of it could be what would make it better. It would be the absence of something, right? So it could be clearing something out and bringing in something new. Or it could just be loving the spaciousness that's been created by clearing something out. And that can be the part of the pleasure stacking, is having more room on your calendar, right? And then with mantra, what is it that you desire to hear? So often we're looking outside of ourselves for someone to validate us, someone to affirm us, someone to encourage us, someone to see us, someone to notice, right? We're waiting to hear the words outside of ourselves. And most of us, our internal dialogue didn't even come from us. It came from our caretakers as young children. It comes from society, from culture. It comes from maybe social media. It's coming from all kinds of places. So noticing what stories you tell yourself and recognizing that a lot of these stories that you tell yourself, a lot of the things you believe about yourself, a lot of your perspectives aren't even yours. You adopted them from somewhere else along the way. So again, this is an extension of clearing some internal space, but getting to decide what stories we tell ourselves and rewriting those stories. So what do you want to be thinking? And, last week we noticed that our thoughts are definitely tied to our emotions. We have a thought and it elicits an emotion. So when we start rewriting our thoughts, we start rewriting our emotions, and it starts feeling different in our bodies, and we start responding to life differently. Okay, so examples of mantras are stay with yourself, stay with yourself, stay with yourself. I am loved, I am loved, I am loved, I am at peace, I am at peace, I am peace, I am peace, right? I am loving awareness, I am loving awareness. I am calm. I am intelligent. I am capable. I can trust myself. I believe in myself. Relax and open. Gosh, that's one of my most favorite mantras. Relax and open. Relax and open. Soften and open. Surrender. Be. Allow. Breathe. Your mantra could just be breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And as you go on walks and you are going to the grocery store and you're going to work and you're doing the dishes, breathe, be, relax, open, love, love, love. It can just be a one-word mantra, right? But bathing ourselves in languaging that represents how it is we want to feel, right? And it's not about putting the focus on what we don't want, because that can make it grow bigger. So just trusting that, again, as we bathe ourselves, say the mantras love, 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 love. We're bathing every cell in our body and every action and every breath and every movement. It's even bathing the negative stories. So when there's the judgment coming in, and the fear and the harm and whatever it is, or the pain in the body or the emotional pains, we just go love, love, love. And we just imagine that we are literally bathing in love, surrounding ourselves in love, filling ourselves with love, creating an aura of love around ourselves. Or maybe it's ease, or maybe it's peace, or maybe it's healing. Again, you get to decide what your mantras are, but surround yourself with your mantras this week. Right? Put them on sticky notes, write it on the bathroom mirror, write it in Sharpie on your arm. Whatever you need to do, make that your mantra, and then stack that with some pleasures this week. This just gets to be a really, really yummy, delicious week of pleasure and beauty and care, right? And that other stuff, it gets to be there. But we're just shifting our focus into these things that feel really good for us. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Don't try to do too much. One thing at a time. Little things, right? Building on the little things that are already there and not trying to bring in something new and bulky and heavy. Little things, okay? Oh, what a wonderful week. I really hope you enjoy this week. And like I've mentioned before, feel free to reach out to me if you want to share anything that you're experiencing or that, that you're practicing or you want support with. I'm always here for you. Okay. Have such a good time with yourself this week. Do the journaling prompts, do the expand your practice exercises, use those screensavers as part of your rituals, part of your mantras, part of your cues for the brain and body about how you want to feel. Start feeding yourself the things that you want. And here's one more thing. And this goes back to even clearing internal space from last week, but part of this week too. And I'm mentioning social media quite a bit because that's a common thing for a lot of people, but start to curate what you put in front of yourself. If there's someone on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever you spend your time online or in the workplace that it just makes you feel bad, unfollow, hide them, mute them, whatever you got to do. Start curating your own experience and what you're bringing into your life, and start feeding yourself some better food, some better cues for your brain and body. Okay? All right. Sending you so much love today. May you stay with yourself today and always.